What is going on YouTube? And in today's video we're going to be installing some lowering springs on my 2006 Nissan 350Z. Please do not knock me for this right here, okay? Long story short, somebody backed into me. I'm not going through insurance claim because I don't want to ruin the Carfax on this car, although it is ruined, but it ain't gonna be ruined on paper. Anywho, yep, 2006 Nissan 350Z. I recently bought these wheels, Odd AH03. They are 19 by 9.5 all around, wrapped in 235, 35, 19s all around. Again, that's 19 by 9.5 squared with 235, 35, 19s all around. And today I'm just gonna be kind of clearing up this little wheel gap right here. All I'm trying to do is just bring this little fender liner down here, probably maybe like to the tire over here, or maybe even a bit lower. I eventually will run spacers in the back, but for right now the front looks pretty good. The fender to tire gap, it clears, or the fender to rim clears, at least for me. The offset is good. By the way, these are plus 22 offsets all around. So again, 19 by 9.5 squared with a plus 22 offset. The plus 22 offset clears good for the front. It doesn't leave too much gap or poke out, versus the back where this is a plus 22 offset, but it still doesn't, you know, clear up this gap up here coming out. So maybe a 15 millimeter spacer in the future, or maybe even tomorrow, will go good. But right now I'm just going to be installing the lowering springs on the car, so you just get a full walk around of, you know, how it looks. I apologize for the wind, but yeah, like I said, the front doesn't sit too high. I feel like the front's good. It's mostly just the rear that I'm like trying to clear up. If you look at it from a distance, the ass kind of sits up a little bit, so we're trying to drop that thing, but not too much because we don't want to scrape out. So yeah, let's get to it. All right, so I'm back, and now that we got the car up in the air, I got the left rim off, and you can see this spring right here. That's what we're gonna be getting to. We're just gonna take this nut out, and this, all you gotta do is just drop this bolt and then get the spring out of there, put the spring back in, put the nut back in, raise it back up, and you're good. So definitely put your car in jack stands, because you're gonna need your jack to lower the compression or the pressure out of that spring, because when you let that nut go, it'll definitely, that bucket will fling down and that spring will shoot some shit out. So I don't know who that is. I'm just joking, that's my crazy girlfriend. And vice versa, same for the other side. We're gonna be doing that, dropping this screw right here. I don't know what size it's at the moment, but same thing that we do to the other side, we do to this side. So again, drop this bucket, use your jack to bring it down, and then take it out of this little section right here. You will be keeping this, and there's another rubber grommet at the bottom that you will be keeping to use on the other springs. By the way, the springs that I'm running are H&R lowering springs. These are the fronts, these are the rears. I will not be using the fronts. I'm only doing the rears today. So you know it's the rears because it has R on it, and you know it's the fronts because it has F on it. So again, these are H&R lowering springs. They retail for anywhere from like $250 to $300. Shout out to the homie on OfferUp. He let them go for $30. So I got these for a little steal. And yeah, he had them on his G35. He said it was too low. So I'm gonna be slamming them on my 350Z, and I'll be seeing how low they go. Again, we're like, I don't have an idea of how low it's gonna be. You know, you guys saw the stock height and how that looked. So I'm gonna just be transparent. I don't know how low this is going. it says it's supposed to go from like stock height to 1.4, so it's supposed to drop like 1.5 inches on the rears, and then it's like I think 2 inches on the front. But like I said, we're not going for the front. I'm gonna scrap the fronts for a second, and I'm just gonna go with the rears. So let me go ahead and find out the size on that, and we'll get to them both in it. So all right guys, so I got the nut out. It wasn't too hard to get out. You got one locking nut, and then just this long nut right here that goes into this spot over here. As you can see, I got the jack stand on the bucket, the spring bucket, to hold it from flinging down. The size that I was using is going to be 11/16. So if you guys can find an 11/16, I don't know what this converts to in a full size. So these are just what I have in my little toolbox. 11/16 will work. That's what I got. And yes, I got the nut out, and now I'm just going to lower the spring bucket slowly and release it so it comes down. And as it releases, see it coming down, it won't fling. All that compression is ready to let go. So now all you do is just kind of like, I think you gotta kind of hammer this out a little bit. Yeah, I can see. I think already came all the way down. I already came all the way down. So I think you gotta hammer it out just a little bit so that you can keep the spring bucket out. It's wiggling a little bit, but let me get this out and I'll come back. All right guys, so I got the left side out, and sun's hating on this direction right now, but make sure, like I said, when you guys take out the spring from the spring bucket, that you guys don't hurt yourself. Again, I did hurt myself. Shit hurt kind of bad, I ain't gonna lie. Too much compression in there, but just use like your foot and like kind of like maneuver it down a little bit, and you'll see that the spring bucket can move. You don't need to loosen that back end, otherwise you're fucked. So just keep it how it is, enough to get it out of there, whatever. But another thing is these grommets are gonna come out from your old spring, okay? So it's gonna come out from the top and the bottom. Make sure you put these back in your car. I don't know too much knowledge, but I do know, based off of what I heard, that from another YouTube video, if you don't put these back in, your shit will be squeaking like crazy, okay? So make sure you guys put these in, and know that they line up too on your spring. If you look at that rivet right here, there's a little indent over here. That's how the top of the spring is supposed to sit on this grommet, as well as the bottom. There's like a certain specific way that this fits on. So obviously this is the end of the spring. Just match the end with the end, and it should sit something like this, okay? Perfect example, okay? That's how it's supposed to sit. And also, if you look at in your spring bucket, there's a shape right there. That shape is supposed to match up with the shape under here as well. So make sure you guys are putting it in correctly. Again, you don't want to be putting some shit in your car and your car does a backflip on the freeway. I'm fucking around. But yeah, just throw your shit on correctly, as well as this one. See, it's supposed to fit. It's supposed to fit just like that. See it? All right, now all you gotta do is reverse the process. Put it in. I already put this side in. I got the right side in, so it's in there and it's bolted up already. I tightened it. I just need to do this left side, and we should be rocking and rolling and seeing how low this thing is. Now keep in mind, if this thing is too low, bro, I could possibly be going back to stock springs. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. If it's way too low to where, I don't know, I don't know, I'm thinking maybe my car's gonna sit lopsided now, like the back is going to be lower than the front, and now I got to lower the front, and suspension is just a tedious type of thing. Fitment, anything that has to do with suspension is an ass. So all of you guys out there watching on YouTube, again, I don't know how low it's going to drop it. It says it's supposed to go 1/4 of an inch, and we just gonna find out and see. So let me load this spring back into this bucket, tighten it up, and get the car lowered down and see how it's looking. All right guys, so I got both sides in. This is the left side spring bucket with the H&R lowering spring. Again, don't forget your grommet, upper and lower. This is the left side, tightened up. Then I got the right side, tighten up, same process. This is so easy. This is by far the easiest job you can do on a car, lowering springs. So now I'm going to bolt the rims up again, like I said, and we'll see how it's looking. So yeah, I just wanted to show you guys how it looks like with the spring in there. So the new springs, and then the old springs are sitting right over here. So yep, and then again the fronts. So all right guys, so this is the finished product of that H&R rear lowering springs that I installed. I like it personally. You can tell it dropped the rear a little bit more. The front still looks a little bit high, but like I said, this is all personal preference. I might go with like a meteor setup in the back now. Probably 245 40s, because I'm running 235s right now. So maybe a thicker tire in the back will look even better, just because I don't want to change my rim size. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a full walk around. It definitely cleared up a little bit more. I'm pretty sure when that sits for a week, because the estimate time for these cars to the springs to settle in would be a week. So once they sit for a week, I'm pretty sure it'll drop even lower. But wheel spacers coming next, and maybe a thicker tire in the back. So still got some perfect fitment to get right with the car. But this is it. 2006 Nissan 350Z H&R lowering springs. You can pick those springs up online for $230, anywhere from 200 to 300 bucks. I got them on a steal, got them on offer up, 30 bucks, man. Not bad for 30 bucks. So yeah, if you guys like this video, go ahead and comment, like, and subscribe. I'll be dropping more YouTube content here shortly. I'm gonna be doing a whole lot more to the car. As far as cosmetic wise, motor wise, I don't plan on touching the motor anytime soon, but wheel spacers coming next, possibly darker tint, maybe a different steering wheel, a different shift knob, you know, just the whole cosmetic thing that make the car look pretty cool. But yeah, thanks for tuning in.